Okay, if somebody can check the YouTube audio, that will be good. Om Ganana Tva Ganapatikam Avamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jyeshthadajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Ara Shinvan Nodipisi Sadanam Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bhirvajinivati Dhinam Avitriyavato Mahasaraswatye Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam हृदये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः अस्मिन् गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः व्यासं प्रतिष्ठरप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रपकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकदातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः देवीं वाचमजनयन्त देवाः तां विश्वरूपा पशवो वदन्ति सा नो मन्दिरेषु मूर्जन्तुहाना धेनुर्वागस्मानुपतिष्ठितैतु ओम शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमां स्पश्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीललितामहात्रिपुरसुन्दरी समेत श्रीचन्द्रमौलीश्वराय नमः श्रीकाञ्चीकामकोटिपीठाधिपतिजगद्गुरु श्रीशङ्कराचार्य श्रीचरणयोः प्रणामाः स्वस्ति श्रीमतकिलभूमण्डलालङ्कारत्रयत्रिंशत्कोटिदेवता सेवित श्रीकामाक्षी देवी सनाथ श्रीमदेकाम्रनाथ श्रीमहादेवी सनाथ श्रीहस्तगिरिनाथ साक्षात्कार परमाधिष्ठान सत्यव्रत नामाङ्कित काञ्ची दिव्यक्षेत्रे शारदामठसुस्थितानाम् अतिरितसुधारसमाधुर्य कमलासन कामिनी धम्मिल्ल संफुल्ल मल्लिका मालिका निश्चन्द मकरन्द झरी सौवस्तिक वाङ् निकुम्भ विजृम्भणानन्द तुन्दुलित मनीषमण्डलानाम् अनवरताद्वैत विद्या विनोदरसिकानां निरन्तरालङ्कृतीकृत शान्तिदान्ति भूम्नां सकलभुवनचक्र प्रतिष्ठापक श्रीचक्रप्रतिष्ठा विख्यात यशोलङ्कृतानां निखिलभाषण्डषण्डकण्टकोद्घाटनेन विशदीकृत वेदान्तमार्ग शर्मदप्रतिष्ठापकाचार्याणां श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य श्री जगद्गुरु श्रीमच्छंकर भगवत्पादाचार्याणाम् अधिष्ठाने सिंहासनाभिषिक्त श्रीमच्चंद्रशेखरेन्द्र सरस्वती संयमीन्द्राणाम् अधिष्ठाने सिंहासनाभिषिक्त श्रीमज्जयेन्द्र सरस्वती संयमीन्द्राणाम् अन्ते वासिवर्य श्रीमच्छंकर विजयेन्द्र सरस्वती श्रीपादानां च चरणनयोः सप्रश्रयं सान्दिर्बन्धं च नमस्कुर्मः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः Ponadaram, where did we stop for 30, yeah, correct. Okay. So we'll start from 31, Vishnu Sahasranamam. Amritam Shudbhavo Bhanush Shashabindus Sureshwarah. Amritam Shudbhavo Bhanush Shashabindus Sureshwarah. Aushadham Jagatas Setus Satya Dharma Parakramah. औषधं जगतस्सेतुः सत्यधर्मपराक्रमः भूतभव्यभवन्नाथः पवनः पावनो नलः भूतभव्यभवन्नाथः पवनः पावनो नलः कामः कामकृत्कान्तः कामः कामप्रदः प्रभुः कामः कामकृत्कान्तः कामः कामप्रदः प्रभुः युगादिकृद्युगावर्तो नैकमायो महाशनः युगादिकृद्युगावर्तो नैकमायो महाशनः अदृश्यो व्यक्तरूपश्च सहस्रजितनन्दजित् अदृश्यो व्यक्तरूपश्च सहस्रजिदनन्तजित् इष्टो विशिष्टशिष्टेष्टः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृपः इष्टो विशिष्टशिष्टेष्टः शिखण्डी नहुषो वृपः क्रोधः क्रोधकृत्कर्ता विश्वबाहुर्महीधरः क्रोधः क्रोधकृत्कर्ता विश्वबाहुर्महीधरः अच्युतप्रतितः प्राणः प्राणदो वासवानुजः अच्युतप्रतितः प्राणः प्राणदो वासवानुजः अपान् निधिरधिष्ठान प्रबत्त प्रतिष्ठतः अपान्निधिरधिष्ठान अपमृत्त प्रतिष्ठितः स्कन्दस्कन्दधरोधुर्यो वरदो वायुवाहनः स्कन्दस्कन्दधरोधुर्यो वरदो वायुवाहनः वासुदेवो बृहद्भानुरादिदेवः पुरन्दरः वासुदेवो बृहद्भानुरादिदेवः पुरन्दरः अशोकस्तारणस्तारः शूरः शौरिर्जनेश्वरः अशोकस्तारणस्तारः शूरः शौरिर्जनेश्वरः अनुकूलः शतावर्तः पद्मी पद्मनिभेक्षणः अनुकूलः शतावर्तः पद्मी पद्मनिभेक्षणः पद्मनाभोरविन्दाक्षः पद्मगर्भः शरीरभृत् पद्मनाभोरविन्दाक्षः पद्मगर्भः शरीरभृत् महर्धिरद्धो वृद्धात्मा महाक्षो गरुडध्वजः महर्धिरद्धो वृद्धात्मा महाक्षो गरुडध्वजः अतुलः शरभो भीमः समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः अतुलः शरभो भीमः समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः महीधरो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः महीधरो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः उद्भवः क्षोभणो देवः श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः उद्भवः क्षोभणो देवः श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः व्यवसायो व्यवस्थानः संस्थानस्थानदो ध्रुवः परर्धिः परमस्पष्टस्तुष्टः पुष्टः शुभेक्षणः परर्धिः परमस्पष्टस्तुष्टः पुष्टः शुभेक्षणः. This is one of the tongue twisters here. Parardhi parama spashtas ishyanta soft. Tushtah ishyanta soft. Tushtaha will become tushtah. Pushtaha will become pushtash. Ishyanta soft. Shu and bhe kshana all are hard. Ramo viramo virato margo neyo nayo nayah. Ramo viramo virato margo neyo nayo nayah. Veerashaktimatam shrestho dharmo dharmaviduttamah. Veerashaktimatam shrestho dharmo dharmaviduttamah. Vaikuntah purushah pranah pranadah pranavah prutuh. Vaikuntah purushah pranah pranadah pranavah prutuh. Hiranyagarbha shatrughno vyapto vayuradhokshajah. Hiranyagarbha shatrughno vyapto Apto Vayuradho Kshajah Hritas Sudarshanah Kala Parameshthi Parigrahah Hritas Sudarshanah Kala Parameshthi Parigrahah Ugra Samvatsaro Daksho Vishramo Vishwadakshinah Ugra Samvatsaro Daksho Vishramo Vishwadakshinah. So, any of the shlokas you want me to repeat?
The 35-second line.
Apan nidhiradhishtana mapramatta pratishtitah.
Dhishtana mapramattah. Mapramattah pratishtha.
Apan nidhiradhishtana mapramatta pratishtitah.
Apan nidhiradhishtanam
Mapramatta pratishtitah. But you can't stop chopway midway.
Mapramattah.
Pratishtitah. Correct. So shall we move to Mundaka Upanishad? So anybody who can summarize from the beginning real quick? Nache.
It's as if I know, but I'm not able to say.
Huh?
Because I just now heard it. It's as if I know it and something I understand, but still not able to say actually.
Paravalle. So let us revise.
Brahma Devanam Pratamaha is the first among the gods. Brahma, his son, Sambhavuva Vishwasya Karta Bhavanasya Buddha, protector of the world. He's telling about Brahma Vidya to his eldest son.
Hey, I just saw Usha, you are talking but you're on mute constantly. Yeah, that's why I couldn't see.
Yeah. So this whole Upanishad was given by Lord Brahma, the first Brahma who created the universe, to his son Atharva. And this is about Brahma Vidya, that is the knowledge of Brahman, that is realizing the purpose of life.
Right.
As against the lower kind of knowledge like history, geography, Vedas, mantras, etc., which are meant for our own material well-being. This knowledge focuses on realizing yourself, why you were born, what is the purpose of all life, etc. So this constitutes the higher knowledge.
Right.
Then Atharva, in his turn, communicated it to Angi, who in turn gave his knowledge to Satyavama and Angiras, who is the son of Bharadwaja.
Correct.
And Angiras in turn gave this knowledge to Shaunaka, who is a great sacrifice. And this whole thing was in the form of a question and answer. We indicated to him what is the knowledge with which everything becomes.
You may want to bring your mic a little closer. People are.
Throat is pretty bad.
Okay. Cherry.
Okay, knowing which you don't have to know anything else. That is the Brahman. And this is something that is not that's beyond time, beyond. It has no gotra, it has no varna, it's not achakshashu, ashutram, no hands, no feet.
Chakshu, Shrotram.
Yes.
Okay. No hands and feet. Apanipadam means without hands and feet.
No hands. Dana paripashyanti dhiraha.
Okay.
That it cannot be experienced with all these senses.
Anything about grasping, perceiving, all pervasive?
Yeah. So Brahman basically does not have those karmendriyas or the jnanendriyas. That is, all the sense organs as well as the organs which are meant for it. It is described to be without all these things. And it is all pervading.
Right.
It is there everywhere. It is there in everything. It has a manifold expression. It expresses in various forms.
Correct.
Of energy, like sound, light, and everything. Extremely subtle. That which does not undergo decay, and which is the source of creation. This is the Upanishat.
Then finally we came to tapasa chiyate brahma tathon navabhijayate annat prano manasatya lokah karma suchamritam. 8th one. Right? Correct?
Yeah.
The 9th one is Yas sarvajñas sarvavib yasya jnanamayam tapah.
Just 1 second. I think we closed it, the previous one, as the spider
Yes.
webs its thread. We close there, and as trees grow in that mantra we have closed last week.
Up to 8.
Yeah.
So we did up to 8.
Yes.
So I'm catching up from the 8th and 9th together. Spider one is the 7th one. Yathor nabhis rajate krishnate cha.
It's the 3 metaphors.
Yeah. Simile.
8th one. 8th one we have to start.
Yes. So I'm just catching up from 8. We have to start from 9 today. Correct?
Yeah.
Right. So the 8th one where we stopped last time is tapasa chiyate brahmat taton namabhijayate annat prano manasatyam lokah karma suchamritam. The 9th one goes as Yas sarvajña sarva vidyasya jnanamayam tapah tasma vetad brahmanama Rupamannam cha jayate. So the meaning of this 8th and 9th is, by concentrated meditation, Brahman expands. That is where the first half, 8th, we discussed last time. From him, the matter is born. From matter, life, mind, truth, and immortality through works. The 9th says, from Brahman, the all-seeing, the all-knowing. Sarvagnya means all-seeing. Sarvavid means all-knowing, whose energy consists of infinite wisdom. And from him is born Brahma, matter. Tasmavetat Brahmanama, name. Rupamannam cha jayate, and form.
So just repeat what you told now.
Now, don't worry about the notes. I will. எவ்வளவு முடியுமோ எழுதிக்கிங்கோ.
இல்ல எனக்கு அது grasp பண்ணல அது.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, tasmad et brahma nama rupa mannam cha jayate.
ஆமா. So from Brahman, the all-seeing, the all-knowing, whose energy consists of infinite wisdom, and from him is born Brahma, matter, name and form. So, in short, what is being talked about is the expansion of the infinite through works, the expansion of the formless, eternal Brahman into the manifested cosmos, which we are able to relate to, in which everything is constantly changing. Everything is constantly changing. That is a very key aspect that we all probably do not appreciate living our life on this planet Earth. I think I talked about the most recent current phenomenon that is being tracked by all astronomers and everybody. Astrophysicists. A huge black hole through which there is a star getting created across the Milky Way. And they're discovering so many things. So they're continuously discovering, because there is creation, there is dissolution, there is creation, dissolution. That is a continuous process that keeps happening. In the cosmos, we are not talking of just our solar system or our galaxy or universe, but the entire cosmos. So, as we are caught into this space and time continuum, it is impossible for us in our normal state of consciousness. Consciousness na nammaloda chit. அது புரியறது கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டமா இருக்கும். You just take it at face value right now. The consciousness within us is what drives us to all what we do, because that is the basis and foundation of our experience, right? Padma, நீங்க உங்க கேமரா கொஞ்சம் திருப்பின்றுங்க. It's only your one left eye and left ear is seen. Slightly better. Desktop. That's better. That's better. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So in our state of consciousness, we find it difficult to answer the question as to why this creation, because we talked about there is no purpose, there is no objective. In one of the shlokas, mantras, we said there is no purpose or intended objective or intent behind the whole thing. This creation and dissolution happens on its own as a natural process. So in our state of consciousness, we find it difficult to answer the question as to why this creation then. If it has to be created, why dissolution? Right? So when you do the tapas and when you get into the higher level of knowledge, the Vedic seers or the sages, they have been able to obtain the insight that the entire cosmos is nothing but a manifestation of the divine ground, the Brahman. It's an expression that we are able to see in the form of matter or lack thereof. And I think I made a passing reference where the Western scholars, their basis is the Big Bang theory. So that is where these ideas and thoughts converge to some extent, where the whole process of evolution and dissolution is considered as a Big Bang, is the equivalent is Big Bang at some point in time. The only difference is they believe there was one Big Bang that happened. We believe there is a continuous Big Bang that happens all the time. Right? We love to worship and celebrate when we get acknowledgement or recognition from the Western world, as if we need their validation to either believe or not believe our own scriptures. Do you know Galileo, the great guy that we all know, believed for a long time that the earth is flat and square? The sad part is if he says flat and square, we'll believe flat and square. The moment some other scientist come and changes, no, it is round and sphere, we will say it is sphere. Our own scriptures have described the whole thing in a fantastic way. It will go on for 6 months. They have cleanly described it as sphere. It's a sphere. That is why the whole notion of Uttarayana and Dakshinayana starts, right? You all know what is Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, right? Unmute பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
The movement of sun from north to south and south to north.
Correct. Does the sun ever travel? Correct. That is fine. But does the sun travel?
Sun also travels.
Does the sun travel with respect to Earth up and down?
No.
Right. So what is happening? Earth rotation on its own axis. Correct?
And then revolving around the sun.
It's revolving around the sun. So if I take one object like this, let's say this is the sun, or this is the smaller object. Let's say this is the sun, and this is the earth. Correct? And we are up there in the northern hemisphere in US, and India is close to the equator. Correct? We are not in the southern hemisphere. Is there India? Fortunately, both of us are in the northern hemisphere. So if the earth revolves around the sun is still static, right? Where is the question of traveling from northern hemisphere to southern hemisphere and southern hemisphere to northern hemisphere? Oh, I never asked that question.
No, I know that it is the earth that is moving, but still Uttarayanam, we say the sun is traveling from the north to south.
That's correct. There is no harm. I'm not trying to be technically picky in that. But understand the basic question. If this is the earth and this revolves around the sun அங்கேயே தானே இருக்கு. So there is no question of sun going up and down, no? Radha, any idea?
Actually, it is a frame of reference. As I know, everything is in a constant state of movement, which others have also been telling. And because of the tilted angle of Earth, there are various angles created, and the spring and the summer and all different proximity to sun or the distance from the sun makes all the difference.
Correct.
And the northern hemisphere gets more of the sunrise and the sunlight in the Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. Actually, for the southern continents, it is a reverse also. They get better light and better things in the
Correct.
so-called Dakshinayana.
Correct.
It's only a matter of difference.
Correct. The key word that you mentioned there is the earth is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees.
Yes.
Which is why your movement is shown, because if you are like this, now the northern hemisphere is closer to the sun. Right? Now when this goes like this, you're moved away from the sun. Right? And in this context, if you take a three-dimensional move, you've gone up. That is why you feel the sun is going down. So we had that knowledge that it is spherical. We had that knowledge that Earth is divided into north and southern hemisphere in its own way, and the sun is somewhere in the center, right? And what effect it causes, as she nicely explained. The other part is the orbits are not concentric circles. Yeah. So the ritus are all formed based on something called the equinoxes. Equinox நம்ம நீங்க இந்தியால செலிப்ரேட் பண்றீங்க இல்லையா?
March and September.
அப்புறம்
September. No, I don't know.
It's a good point for homework. If you do the homework and if you come back with one information, I will give you actually more information technically on the same topic. How's the deal? In our Panchangam, Tamil Panchangam and other Panchangam that we say the dates are fixed. Whereas in the date, enna date irukkanum, why? I'll give you more information on that. Nice technical explanation. So understand the beauty. We are talking of ayanam. We are talking of kalam, ayanam, varsham, all the way up to vinadi, nadigai and vinadi, right? So there is nothing that we lacked in terms of information. Yeah, people can mock at us. Oh yeah, you guys invented the aeroplane, not Wright brothers. In order to keep our job and salary, we may have to say no. Wright brothers were the one who taught our sages also. அது பண்ணியாகணும், வேற வழி இல்லை. Until India becomes a Vishnu again. So leave aside all the other debates outside. Appreciate the beauty, appreciate the knowledge that is available to us, and see how you relate to it. So we are saying that the entire cosmos is a manifestation of the divine ground, the Brahman. And that is where the Big Bang theory comes in. Whereas where the Western scientists believe that it is one occurrence, we believe it is a continuous occurrence. And I talked about what is that continuous evolution dissolution process. What is the terminology in our system? Nyamarika? Pralayam is the process.
Okay.
Timeline சொல்லியிருந்தேன் நான். Kalpa.
Srishti?
Kalpa.
Oh, Kalpa.
One day and one night of Brahman சொல்றோம் நம்ம. We are in Shvetavaraha Kalpe. Right? அது மாதிரி ஒரு மகாகல்பால there are several kalpas. Within one kalpa there are many manus, manvantara. Manu antara. Manu is the head of the duration of the time. Antara means duration. That is why we say manvantara. Manu plus antara becomes manvantara. So sankalpam எடுக்கிறதே சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, ஸ்வேதவராக கல்பே வைவஸ்வத மன்வந்தரே அஷ்டாவிம்சதிதமே. So within that Manu there are 4 yugas together as called as Mahayuga. In that 4 yugas we are in the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuge Prathame Pade
First quarter.
huh?
First part.
First segment, first quarter, first segment. And then we go to Kraunchadvipe, Ramanakavarshe, Indrakhande, Meroho. So much of detailed coordinate system, GPS system, I don't think I have seen ever in any white paper, in any astronomical talks or astrophysics talks from anybody. So this process continuously happens, and the beauty is it happens without getting diluted. It is not like as the creation happens, the energy is fading away and it dies its natural death. There is no dilution in its dimension or the energy. So these 2 mantras explain to us the whole process of from Brahman, how a form, Brahma with form, name, etc., which is the matter, gets created, life gets created. And this gets created for billions of years, not just 1 or 2 years, billions of years. If those of you who are interested, maybe I will be able to share in the next time without overwhelming you the number of years given in earth years and God years, which in the Western world they call it as human years and light years. அது ரெண்டு டிஃப்ரெண்ட் தெரியும் இல்லையா? The speed with which light travels is different, right? So when it comes to the human race, we get evolved into that mental consciousness, which is the crux of our matter. நமக்கு ஸோ நீங்கள் இப்போ அடுத்த தடவை வந்து வாத்தியார் when he does பூஜை or homam or something, pay attention, then you will see how many times he will use the word chit. Chit is the key word for consciousness. பிராயஷ்சித்தம்னு சொல்றதே அதுதான். If everything is falling in place, right? All those mantras that the Vadyar was blabbering, now suddenly is becoming very meaningful. So that's all that it takes for us to have basic knowledge, elementary knowledge. And unless you have the elementary knowledge, you will not be able to go through those scriptures and understand the depth of what is written in there in all those books and mantras that are being chanted. Right? So the whole system cannot be explained in one PowerPoint slide, in 15-minute presentation or 1 hour presentation. There are many people in the US, they'll ask, hey, I want to learn Hinduism. Can you please tell me the website where I can go and learn? I said, the day I'm able to create the website, then I'll become God. It's unfortunate, but that is the truth, right? You can't go and tell them this one website, this chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, a 1 year course, you understood Hinduism. It takes years and years for us to understand the whole system, how it works. So that is where my grievance is when I deviate into a little bit of sarcastic comments. It's about one appreciation is good enough that the system is complex, which neither the Western world has understood nor mortal humans like us can claim to have understand the system. That appreciation is good enough. It is complex, it will take time. So I would rather refrain from picking and choosing selected pieces of this whole system and commenting upon it as if I'm a all-pervading God to be able to qualify to judge and comment. You first put in time to understand the system. Then you can become the judge. Correct? So in a short span of 32 years, our great Guru Adi Shankaracharya has written so many commentaries on all of these Upanishads, which is why even this class is happening. So he has focused in certain area. Madhvacharya has focused in certain area. Ramanujacharya has focused in certain areas. They all have tried to put their commentary. As mari Cholinde Pola. For us in Sri Vidya Upasana, Sri Bhaskara Raya is the ultimate truth. So you just pick one, Lalita Sahasranamam. He has written a commentary on that. Devi Mahatmyam, there is a huge commentary on that. Even to understand the commentary, you need some commentaries. But it is simple enough for us to understand that this process happens. Somebody has given it to us in a platter. You just take it at face value, believe it, move it, and then go through the process of gaining this upper and lower level knowledge, because without that knowledge, without that experience, you will not be able to appreciate what is being said or what exists out there. As a simple analogy, when people say, can you please summarize all these things? I mean, it is very overwhelming. Can you summarize all these things in 10 minutes? No, I said, I will say I cannot. Because if your interest is to learn swimming, you can only learn swimming by jumping into the water. You cannot say, I don't know, or I am scared. So I'll learn swimming outside on the ground and then I'll jump into the water. No, you have to jump into the water, even if it is a man-made pool. Anga mudigi, ezhundu, jalata kudichu, you drink water, you drown, the whole process, like learning cycle. Unless you fall down, you won't be able to stand up and ride the bicycle on your own. So, adhe madri, idhula the upper level knowledge and the lower knowledge is being talked about, so that you go through the knowledge acquisition, start experiencing certain things, by which time you will start appreciating the next level of information. Does it help, or is it still confusing? I will say, I don't know whether I can tell you the truth, that it is confusing, but for your sake, I'll say it is clear. So, the simpler translate pananamna, it's not a technically correct translation, but your body is full of energy centers. Correct? So, if I don't create that energy excitement, which is called the Kundalini Shakti, அதை நான் அவேக்கன் பண்ணி அதை ரைஸ் பண்ண வச்சாதான் எனக்கு அடுத்த லெவல் ஆஃப் அப்ரிசியேஷன் வரும். You cannot learn or understand certain things by just hearing somebody's lecture. That will only give you the context. That will only give you the framework. Correct? So, has any one of you been into the under the sea ever? So if I start describing how it was like when I went through the coral reefs and there was a shipwreck in the bed of the ocean, it is so painful that you have to have earplug. As you go down, the pressure increases. It will tear your eardrum apart. And I can even show you the DVD. But unless you jump into that ocean, unless you travel through that path, you will not be able to appreciate certain things. Does it make sense? So
here traveling through the path means reading all these things, or
read and go from kindergarten to first to second to third, and one by one, step by step poi. Start with the Nityanushthanam. If your direct question I'm answering because you are initiated, I'm telling you. Start with Nityanushthanam. Daily and the mantra japam pannungo. See the difference. Correct? So take those pieces of things that has been given to you and start putting it into your structure and routine. You do mantra japam, you do tarpanam, you do archana, you participate in homam, and then you see what happens. But it cannot be that I did it for 2 days, then 4 days I'm traveling, and again 2 days I'm busy with some other event or something like that, and then I will come back. Appadi illa. Nityanushthanam adha solra. Means every day. Nitya means every day. So every day நீங்க அதை பண்ணிட்டே இருந்தேன்னா அந்த எனர்ஜி ரிஃப்ளெக்ட் பண்ணும். ஸோ இதை வந்து நம்ம in a way we have been misconstruing this. காயத்ரி உபதேசம் கொடுத்துட்டாக்கா பிள்ளைக்கு தேஜஸ் வந்துடும் அப்படின்பா. வராது. உபதேசம் கொடுத்துட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த பிள்ளை the பிள்ளை doesn't ever chant in his life காயத்ரி மந்திரம் ஒன்றும் ஆகாது. He will be as dumb as he was. But by giving the Gayatri Upadesham, he is authorized to learn certain higher level things. What is the higher level thing is, again, Veda Mantram. Okay, when you learn, okay, every week when I come to the class, I will chant with you. Ur energy agadu. Because even in that, your swarams and matra, balam, aksharam, nothing is intact. Ada perfect pandratha case, people spend 16 years. So imagine when you have to do multitasking and multi-learning and do many things, you have to be doubly smarter and committed. Correct? So Pannina, you'll be able to experience a different level of energy, and only with that experience, you will be able to see many other things or understand certain things that is being talked about. So as much as it is providing an answer, it is also scary for those people who say, oh, I didn't realize there is so much of work to do. So there are two ways of looking at it. Again, I'm slightly deviating, but since you asked the question, I will answer the question. There are many people who have asked, oh, now I'm already 60 plus, so what is the point in doing all this? Correct? If you have a loan, monthly EMI, will you ever say, oh, I'm already 60, now I'm going to stop earning? You cannot. So you keep doing it. So maybe you will do one more janma because you couldn't square off this year. Your EMI could not be used to complete your loan repayment. But in the next janma, you don't have to go through another 60 years. No, maybe you're done with about 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, who knows? That's another way of looking at it. Yeah. So there is no age for these things. And I had shared the timeline graphic with all of you in the group from Sadhana Panchakam. I'm going to go to Sadhana Panchakam, which will be very interesting after Madhur Panchakam. இது மாதிரி ஒரு ஜெம்மையும் நம்ம எடுத்து படித்தோம் இது பண்ணினோம்னாக்கா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக ஈவன் இஃப் யூ டோன்ட் புட் இன் எஃபர்ட் உங்கள் எனர்ஜி லெவல் மாறும். ரைட்? ஸோ appreciate the whole process of manifestation, appreciate the whole process of how life is created. So எல்லாரும் வேத மந்திரம் படிச்சு புரிஞ்சு எல்லாம் பண்ண முடியும்னு தெரியாது. So that is where வேதாந்தம் வந்தது. From the philosophy, you get the crux of the juice of the whole material that you are otherwise supposed to learn through years. And we don't believe in the concept of man is a sinner. இந்த வெஸ்டர்ன் வேர்ல்டில் பண்ணுற மாதிரி யூஆர் சின்னர்னு சொல்லி பண்ணுற மாதிரி இதில் சின்னர் பண்ணுறதுக்கு பதிலாக we have a concept of dosha. Karma and dharma. Our system is not just purely on karma and dharma. So இதில் எங்கே நம்ம மிஸ் பண்ணினாலும் we acquire dosham. Dosham means I would say I use the term debits. In a balance sheet of credit and debits entry ஆகுது. You chant a slokam mantram, you do some good work. All of you, I don't want to assume, but if you have done Kardiya Nombu, that's a good karma that you have done. You have earned credits by doing so. நான் எதுக்கு என்னோட ஹஸ்பண்டுக்காக ப்ரே பண்ணணும்? ஏன் பண்ணினா என்ன? And make the husband also follow the dharmam where the husband does it for the wife. There's nothing wrong. There are many debates. Why Sumangali Prarthanai? Why are you excluding other people? இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு picky and selective choice வச்சு நம்ம approach எடுக்க முடியாது. I mean, these are very vast topics that can be discussed and understood in detail. But follow the system, be a part of the system. Don't judge the system without even getting into it. Right? So, இந்த இது பண்றதுக்கு காரணம் என்னன்னா we are looking at methods of salvation. Salvation means in the whole cycle of birth and rebirth நம்ம வெளியில வரதுக்காக பார்க்கணும். Right? So we are trying to understand the system in terms of evolution and dissolution. So should we stop with this? Yeah, the word that I wanted to use, the word was suffering. We are not sinners, but we go through suffering. That is part and parcel of our human life. வேற ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின்? நீங்க யோசிக்காதுங்க பத்மஜா. There is no question that is dumb question. Just because I talk for 1 hour doesn't mean I know everything. There could be many things that I don't know. But if you raise a question, maybe at least we all can find an answer. Right? And enna pananumna, the reason why I do recap is just not to lose sight of what the whole Upanishad is all about. Otherwise, it is a little abstract that you go to 9th, 10th, 11th, you forgot where you started from. அது ரிவைஸ் பண்ண அது இப்போ லைக் the way Usha summarized, it helps you in saying now I understand where the context is, where, because it's a commentary, right? Who's teaching who? Trick question. You never expected that at the end of the எல்லாரும் மியூட்ல இருக்கு, எல்லாம் அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஒருத்தரும் ஜாஸ்தி, there are not too many people here.
Initially it was Lord Brahma who thought his son Dharma, but later on the whole thing came into existence because sage Angiras gave this to Shaunaka.
Correct.
That is the end.
Absolutely. So அது மாதிரி unless you discuss and understand and recap, you will not be able to get the context. So homework ஞாபகம் இருக்கா? என்னது?
We told about equinox.
Also, Rahu Kalam, this whole concept of Kalam, Hora, I don't know how many of you know about Horas. Maybe Radha will be exposed to it. Hora. உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா?
Actually, it is an auspicious time for any planet during the day, and during that time when something is performed, it has maximum effect. Like, Shukra Hora on a particular day has certain, it compounds the good effects. So people choose the right time, or the Hora actually is the origin for the word hour. But although it is shown as some Greek or Latin origin as per the...
Even in Spanish, hora is hour.
Yeah. But horai, there are two things, Guligai and horai. So horai is the best part. And certain time in the Guligai, certain things are not done, or good things should not be done during that time. And the Maria, I know little bit only. In fact, when you were just saying something about the secrecy which is getting revealed and Gayatri, when it is Upadesha பண்ணும்போது குழந்தைகளுக்கு it is supposed to be a Guhya mantram. And the Guhyam is actually secrecy, but it is nothing everyone knows. But actually, only when the person is ready to get it, he gets it. Till such time, it is Guhyam only for everyone. That is what I don't know whether you listen to Nochur by any chance, Nochur Venkatraman. He keeps telling that everybody knows. See, it is open secret, like Chidambara Ragasyam mari ellarkum theriyum. But only the right person, because of his or her level of understanding, gets the meaning of that particular mantra. So it is open till that time, till the person is mature enough to get that from the it is there in the cosmos. All sounds are there. Everything is there. நம்ம குஹ்யதமம் பரம்னு சொல்லும்போது நாம ரெடியா இருந்தாதான் அது நமக்கு வரும்.
Absolutely well said. எவ்வளவு விஷயம் இருக்கு பாத்தீங்களா பத்மஜா?
Yes. The first time they get hover and horror.
That is how it is. That is how it is. See, a lot of these languages have got common origin. அதனால தான் அந்த etymology நம்ம சொன்னோம் இல்லையா? And not every word is formed from the basic. There are words that have got evolved. I gave an example of the word called trivia. Each time word gets added to the dictionary. Try in Italian or European language is 3. Right? Sanskritலையும் 3 தான். Via means street. So when 3 roads meet, in India we call that as nukkad. Nukkadla வந்து what do you talk? You just talk about everything and nothing. Vambu. Huh? Yeah, we discuss matter that is of insignificance. இன்னைக்கு என்னாச்சு, நேற்றுக்கு என்னாச்சு, அவ அந்த பார்ட்டி என்னாச்சு, இந்த டிவியில் அது பார்த்தியா இது பார்த்தியா, அதெல்லாம் ஆல் வம்பு ஆர் காசிப் ஆர் இன்சிக்னிஃபிகண்ட் திங்ஸ். அதுலேருந்து தான் இந்த வேர்டு ட்ரிவியான்னு வந்தது. ஸோ the concept of hora is superb. You can study that concept. அதுக்கு படிக்கிறதுக்கே உங்களுக்கு ஒரு வாரமாவது ஆகும் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு. So Usha, what you missed is Radha gave a very nice answer in terms of hearing something or you are aware of something versus you understand something versus you appreciate something that you have understood. Absorb panni. These are different stages. So just because you heard Gayatri Mantram on a YouTube or a TV or through that sound box or music box that people have at their home and puja room, it doesn't mean that you know the mantra. You are aware of the mantra. அதனோட அர்த்தம் என்ன, அதனோட மீனிங் என்ன, அதை புரிஞ்சுண்டு, like to understand the meaning, understand and appreciate the meaning of the mantra, the power of the mantra, and above all, to be able to chant and experience that mantra is not that everybody does or everybody can do. So also one word of caution when you are dealing with mantra, as I said in the beginning of the class itself, the whole batch, anytime you deal with sounds, be careful that you are producing good sounds, good harmonics, because that same negative sound, wrong harmonics can come back to hurt you. And you take any, I'll give you a very simple example. My examples are not like bhashyams, right? Because I'm not that jnani at all. My examples are all very easy to understand approaches. Take any song or any audio from any track that you enjoy, right? You will have pleasant experience, and suddenly ask your family member to just change that speed of the audio track. In today's technology, in the phone, you can do it, right? When you play that thing, it will say 1x, 2x, 3x. Ada maatungo. Just change that tempo and listen to the same thing and see the effect. You can't say it doesn't matter to me. It will matter to you. After a while, you'll go nuts. And I started believing in all these things because there are certain experiences in my childhood that I've had which literally opened my eyes. And I'm talking of very common day-to-day occurrences. If you are familiar with Ganesh Chaturthi in Mumbai, right? It's a nice 10-day festival. Everybody would like to show off, and we used to go to Pandal by Pandal and see the decoration everywhere. Vikhroli East I'm talking of a live incident. 4 different societies, they had Ganapati festival going on, and unfortunately it'll come at the time before our exams, so people will be blaring their loudspeakers. So there were people who were saying, okay, you put it at 70 decibel level, I'll put mine at 80 decibel level. You put yours as 80, I'll put it 90. Competition, because they have to be, their society, this thing has to be heard. So the great solution found out by Maharashtra police. They made one constable sit there in the chowk. Nice or tent mari put kiosk mari put on okatishda. Like you sit here with your rifle and you moderate all these people. All of a sudden, the guy picked up his rifle and started shooting people. Because nobody put their head together that if you are in that center where you are hitting sound waves from all 4 different directions, what is the end result to that person who is hearing those sounds? So this is not a joke. This is a serious matter. Anala, it's very important that you understand the mantra, the aksharam, ucharane, everything, for you to realize the benefit. And if you believe in that and do it, if you're a doubter and you say, no, I'm going to try and I'm going to be a judge, none of us are qualified to be a judge on anything. That is the truth. We are all learners and will continue to learn till we breathe our last. At least we must be thankful enough. We are in an age of digital technology where access and content is available, where you need to just make sure that the information, as I gave example last class or the class before, don't Google Max Miller's works and learn from there. You don't need to. We have Adi Shankaracharya's commentary, Bhaskara Raya's commentary. Ada padichi purinjitale po. Or if your Rashi is only to listen to me and grasp some other thing, then that is your luck. But at least I can help you set your foot into the storyline and appreciate what is being talked about, where you can do more detailed learning also, right? So far so good. I'm going to try and create a PowerPoint presentation which will capture some of the meanings of each of the mantras and give it to you, so you don't have to worry about taking down detailed notes. Overall, a principle of purinjittu peking, that is the most important part. And Radha, you really surprised me, though I know that you would have had knowledge about it. Some of the words that you used, it doesn't matter whether you are hearing it from some other Upanyasam and repeating it here or not. The fact that you heard that Upanyasam and you understood.
Yeah.
Amma.
No, the thing is, many times we don't know. We keep on reading, listening and all that. But one fine morning, it actually dawns on you that this is what it is.
Exactly.
So like that, what happens is, நாம சின்னவாளா இருக்கும்போது 2 4 6 நம்ம சும்மா அப்படியே மெக்கானிக்கலா படிச்சோம். But when you go, when you grow and when you see life, then many things fall in place that, okay, this is how it was. I'm not talking of a mathematical table, but it's like a jigsaw puzzle. அதாவது இது இப்படியும் ஒரு